Tom Izzo, Michigan State, has done it again. Let's see, against the Final Four teams this season. Lost to Duke, lost to Wisconsin, and lost to Wisconsin again. Well, that bodes well. That means Tom Izzo is due for another win there. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. Who's your best friend of these other coaches in the Final Four, the other three head coaches?
I really get along with all of them, and it's kind of funny. Mike has been great. I've known Mike for a while, and I think Bo and I had more of the rivalry thing in the last 4 or 5 years. Either we're getting older or something, but there's almost great admiration and appreciation. And John and I have been friends for a long time, and I think the job he's done has really been incredible. So, unfortunately, in a weird way, I really like all three of them.
It doesn't matter if you have a rivalry because you and Bo Ryan aren't playing against each other. So does it affect your coaching?
No, in fact, I have to pull for them because the league and that, what's different is you do. But no, there's no real rivalries. I think there's a lot of respect here that everybody has for everybody, and I know I have a lot for Duke, so much that we're 1-8 against them. So sooner or later, we got to try to change that.
I keep mentioning this, that I don't know if you build your team for the tournament or not, but it certainly appears that way. Do you build in accordance to how your team would be, for a tournament? I don't know how that works.
I can't say I really do. I think everybody around here thinks, that I told you I golf in November, December, January, and February, and then I coach in March. But that's not true. We just this year we've had some injuries, and last year, heck, we were really good, and we had a bunch of major injuries late, and guys missed 8 and 9 games. But so I think that was a real good team, and we made a run in March. But this has been a little different. Not maybe as talented individually, but collectively, they've been good. And our three guys, Dawson, Trice, and Valentine, are a lot better players than I think people think.
Yeah, but there seems to be we equate toughness with Michigan State. Why is that?
I don't know, because back in the day when we weren't very talented, we were one of the best rebound. Well, in fact, we were the best rebounding team in the nation 3-4 years, and we had a win ugly. Yesterday I heard a stat where we had more fast break points than the other three opponents that Louisville played. So we've changed, we've evolved over time. I don't think we're the ugly duckling anymore. We're kind of grown out of that a little bit.
But do you coach in accordance to your talent? Do you change, or is it just you're going to keep your style?
Well, I think like everything else in life, I think you've got some principles that you try to stick with, but I think you have to adjust to your talent. I mean, we're not going to get all the, we lose out on more guys than we get sometimes, but yeah, we got good players, and we just have to make minor adjustments. I think the principles of what we do is pretty same as Duke's, and you look at Kentucky, as talented as they are. Every time I hear John talk, it's his defense and rebounding that's winning them games, and I think we've had that same standard ever since I came here.
He's Tom Izzo, Michigan State back in the Final Four, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Duke is coming up next. Can you be out-coached at this level?
Well, I think coaching plays a little bit more of a role than it does in the NBA, and I think there's a lot of great NBA coaches, but I think everybody thinks the best players win. But I think, like in my case, I think I get too much credit. Players play the game. I never get to shoot a free throw or get a rebound, and I think they give credit to the coach, but it's the players that execute whatever you give them. And if they don't do it well, you're not a very good coach. If the ball doesn't go in the basket, you're not a very good coach. So I don't know if you can be out-coached. I think you can be outplayed.
What seed would you give your coaching ability?
Well, it depends. I gave it about a negative 15 early in the year and some things. Made a couple of bad decisions.
Would you have even made the NIT earlier in the year with your coaching? Would you have been an NIT coach?
I would have been an NIT team. You lose 2 games with 2 seconds left.
Oh,
when you
my
had
God.
3-point leads. You can't give yourself much credit on that. But I think what's happened to me, Dan, is I got a staff that's been here. A couple of them been here 10 years plus, and I think they do a lot more and make me look good.
Are you a number 1 seed coaching?
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
I'm not being humble. There's a lot of great. Hey, the guy we just beat, Rick Pitino, I think did an unbelievable job this year, and there's not many 1 seeds, so I'm aspiring to be in that group, but I'm still a work in progress.
Would Magic Johnson, did he say anything to the team? Magic talk to the team?
Yeah, he did in the last 3 weekends. He's been awesome, and now there's a number 1 winner, if you ask me. I mean, that's why when he speaks, even I listen. So he's been great. He's been just great, and he has he evaluates our team very well. He watches us all the time, and he doesn't just say things to impress people. He speaks from his heart, and he speaks from his brain and his knowledge.
Would you rather have coached Magic in college or Michael Jordan?
Well, I'd rather Coach Magic, of course, because number 1, he's from here, but number 2, I think, and I love Michael. I think he's great, but I think Magic has the one intangible that not many people have, and that he's as competitive as Michael and all this, but he had the ability to take average players around him and make them better. With his ability to pass and handle it, and so I think that's why I appreciate him as much as anybody in the world.
I think it's interesting with the one and dones that we focused on Kentucky, and you look at what Duke's got 3-star freshmen. We don't know how many are going to go pro here, but it seems like we love the narrative on Kentucky, Coach, or we love to talk about it that hey, they're one and done and they're bad for basketball. Everybody's trying to do what they're doing, right?
Oh yeah, if he wants to trade players, I mean,
could you?
There's some recruits. He's got some players that I recruited for 3-4 years. So yeah, everybody wants to have one and done players. When we act like we don't, that's jealousy on our part or stupidity. I don't know which one, but I think Mike's done it over the years with a lot of 3- and 4-year players, and right now he's got some talented freshmen. Who knows? But John's found a niche, and it's been a good niche, let me tell you. But I like my niche too. I think everybody, Bo, has got even a different niche than I have, and yet we got 4 different teams in the Final Four, and that's the name of the game, is getting there. Would
Kentucky be undefeated if you coached them?
Probably not. I don't know how John can deal with, all the distractions, the egos, and then the pressure of being at Kentucky. I do think he's the perfect coach for that job, and I'm not sure there's many that could handle all those different things.
Why didn't he get named Coach of the Year, Tom?
I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does because everybody just thinks he has players. Having players isn't always the key. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there with talented players. It's not talent that always wins, as they say. It's getting the chemistry. What he's done there with the egos, the starters he had last year, cutting their minutes, it's incredible. I mean, he really deserves more credit than he's getting.
Good luck against Duke, Coach, and congrats for getting to another Final Four.
Hey, Dan, thanks for having me on. I look forward to talking to you again.
All right. Thank you, Coach. That's Tom Izzo. Let's see. 18 years, 7 Final Fours, 1 championship.